is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
And I, John Shefsky, his co-host and personal spanker, make sure he stays in line.
Yeah, you know, people told me I shouldn't get a personal spanker, that it was an extra expense that would really throw off my budget. But you pinch those pennies and you can make dreams come true.
Did people tell you to play the fucking music?
Now they did.
CRiiiME
Is the show that starts now.
Like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything
them
to me. Don't you dare.
CRiiiMepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. Hey, everybody. I hope that you've already broken all your New Year's resolutions and gone back to eating candy and spending most of your day watching pornography. For those of you who are keeping your resolutions, the best one to keep is getting C3 risk and insurance. Shefsky was not there with me on that, but here's the important thing.
What an interesting New Year's resolution. This next year, man, I'm going to get insurance.
Yeah, because you've been going with you've been playing without a net for so long.
That's true. You're playing with fire, right? Put some of that gel on.
Go communicate with our friend. What a terrible choice of word. Hit up our buddy Joe Earl at C3 Risk and Insurance Services because he'll take care of whatever insurance brokerage needs. Here's the thing, a real thing about an insurance broker as opposed to just buying it straight from Mercury or whatever, is those Mercury people, they're dicks. But a good insurance broker will fight for you, and that's what Joe Earl does. Go to c3insurance.com, get a policy from Joe, and he'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card.
Joe Earl will fight for you like a lawyer without a degree.
Yes, because he does not have a law degree.
No,
I want to be very clear about that.
But tell him Shefsky sent you. He loves me, and he'll give you a $25 gift certificate to Amazon. It's going to make your life a lot better.
And guys, we may have teased this a bit on the show in the past, but we are ready to break some pretty exciting news.
Rich Slaton is gay!
Yes, extremely and exclusively, but more importantly, CRiiiME will be appearing live for the first time on Saturday, March 17th. We didn't plan to do that one together, but that's the chemistry that Shefsky and I have at the Comedy Store Belly Room Saturday, March 17th. Tickets are going to be $10, but for you, our listeners, the first 20 of you who email us, we will put you on a free guest list with 2 passes. So hit us up. We love to have you come out. It's going to be a bunch of fun. We'll have Jeremiah Watkins, who you've heard on the show a bunch of times, and a few stand-ups to warm up the show a bit. It's going to be a great time. So hit us an email.
It's going to be entertaining.
It's going to be sexy. So email us, CRiiiMepodcast@gmail.com, and we will put you on that guest list, and it's going to be a blast. Or go to the Comedy Store website in Hollywood. You can also get tickets there if you want to do it that way.
Or just email us directly.
Yeah, or slide into those DMs, bruh.
Yeah, we'll hook you up. We want to see you there. We want to see you live.
Talk about sliding into DMs. Today's guest is someone who, oh man, a hilarious comedian, a sexy dude, one of the top beanie-wearing men I've met on the entire West Coast.
Credit you've ever given anyone, Slaton. This man is hilarious.
That's probably my best credit.
It's probably his best credit, but I want you in the universe to put your virtual hands together for our good friend, Kyle Ray!
Hey, boys.
What's up, dude?
I'm happy to be here. Long-time caller, first-time listener.
You're not calling or listening, man.
Well, I told you guys that, Shefsky was shocked that I knew who Joe Earl was. And, he's like, holy fuck, somebody listens?
I was like, another man listens to this child show? Wow.
Shefsky and Joe are both surprised to find out that they have met before. 8-9 years ago, we did a show did a benefit show for team in training, lymphoma marathons or whatever.
Yeah,
that's right, we give back.
And Shefsky was on that show, and I found a picture because Joe was the one running the marathon, and found a picture of Shefsky and Joe together, and they had no idea.
And does Joe know? Have you told Joe?
Yeah, I sent him the photo, be like, dude, you know Shefsky.
I told you, Joe, he loves me.
This show just brings people together, and that's why we do it.
That's why we got Kyle
What
here.
an exciting flashback for Joe.
It's the worst, right? If you let Slaton be in charge of your flashbacks, they're going to be pretty bad.
I kind of want, part of me, whenever I hear that commercial, I want to talk to Joe Earl about life insurance, if he has life insurance, but I'm so nervous that I'm going to get life insurance for me and my wife, and then something's going to happen a month later, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, he did it. You know what I mean?
I'm excited.
You got to white knuckle that first month after getting life insurance.
You got to be
if anything happens to your spouse.
We've never plugged that. Hey, guys, get life insurance from Joe Earl, and then plan your spouse's death, and then you can be featured on this show.
Slaton, what kind of show are you trying to promote here?
I want
to better the world.
William T. Anderson, who was born in 1839 in Hopkins County, Kentucky.
All right, Kentucky.
Bill was one of 6 children born to William Sr. and his mother, Martha. Dad was a wanderer, constantly uprooting his family in search of a new start at the good life.
Trying to find his own barbecue sauce recipe.
Rolling Stone.
That's right. He was. He was a Rolling Stone. Not in the band, though. His dad just screwed around a lot.
That would be really unfortunate. You got to talk to your dad, like, Dad, can I get some advice? But he doesn't answer because he's just a rock that sits there.
But no, he doesn't sit there. He's rolling.
He rolls.
You're like, Dad, can I get some answers? As it's rolling down the hill.
Tumble,
Wait.
tumble, tumble, tumble,
Okay,
tumble,
I'll check
tumble,
in
tumble,
later.
tumble, tumble.
He's just
Peace,
kid-
Dad.
My dad goes killing Indiana Jones again.
You know, I'm
Oh, they're throwing my dad at some poor girl's head in the Middle East. Oh, she must be a skank.
No, it's a rolling stone, not a throwing stone, Shefsky.
Papa was a throwing stone? Bro, Papa was a throwing stone for Allah.
I'm half granite and half limestone, and I'm proud of my heritage.
I'm pretty stoned right now, man. Go on with your fucking story, bro.
They bounced from Kentucky to Missouri to Iowa and back to Missouri again, settling in Huntsville, where Dad left the family behind to join the California Gold Rush.
What a depressing game of ping pong.
Well, I'm just going to roll away from you guys. See you later.
When that failed, he returned to his wife and kids, but in 1854,
If you're a rock and you were rolling that much, how much would that hurt your balls and your dick? Because just you rolling on your own balls and dick would hurt as the rock.
I can only somersault over my right shoulder. I can't do it on my left shoulder.
You pussy.
Backwards and forward somersault over my right shoulder easily.
I can do all those kinds of assaults.
Yeah? You're an assaultist. 1854,
Himalayan pink assault.
the government opened the Kansas Territory to settlers, and William Sr. left again to stake his claim.
Did he claim a stake too, if you know what I'm saying?
While the Civil War was still a few years away, Kansas was an early battleground. The Kansas-Nebraska Act opened the gateway to statehood for the territories, but left the question of slavery up to a settler's vote.
What's that mean? Explain that for the listeners and John.
There wasn't a state yet, and they were going to plan to make it a state, but there was a big argument over should the new states be free states or slave states. And so instead of being like, well, you're one of them, they just said, fuck it, sort it out yourselves.
Figure it out, fellas. Like
Yeah.
when your parents let the two kids fight over stupid shit.
Just have a vote.
Over slavery, over people's lives?
Yeah.
That seems totally logical.
Totally.
Yeah, guys, you want to just fuck off, have somebody else do the work? No, come on, guys.
No.
Be reasonable.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It's the 1800s. Owning people's wrong, and we all know that.
Every one of us.
Did they know that in those days, though? They were just like, this is how things get made.
I wonder if that relates to this story at all today.
This is the affordable workforce I've always wanted. Honey, they're dark. They'll do things for us for cheap.
The new region could tip the balance between the abolitionist North and the pro-slavery South.
Oh, fuck, important. Tippage.
So both regions flooded the Kansas Territory with immigrants. For a time, 2 separate local governments claimed legitimacy.
Oh, that's always fun. That's Deadwood right there.
It was the best. There was like an abolitionist government and a slave government.
It's gonna fuck everything up too with all the immigrants taking jobs from slaves. You know what I mean?
Oh,
really
my
turn
God.
The argument on its ear.
These immigrants can't win an argument. I mean, no one will take their side. Now they took the slaves'
They're
jobs.
taking unpaid jobs from these hardworking slaves.
The slaves are doing the South Park. They took our jobs. Oh, man.
4 constitutions were drawn up, abolishing slavery, reinstating it, abolishing, and reinstating again. The groups went back and forth, each holding elections only to have the other claim voter fraud and overturn the results.
So were the people that were against slavery, were they like actually like right, like did they really believe that, or was it just part of their like identity politics and they were just like they went along with that?
I'm going to go
You know
with
what
both.
I mean? Where they were just like, yeah, I don't care about the slaves left or right, but you know,
Oh, like were they bloggers of 1863?
exactly.
I get that.
Is there like a non-moral reason to be opposed to slavery, though?
No,
Like, are
but
they
there's
just,
also
like,
there's like
Yeah, want creation. Like, actually, there's a good economic reason to oppose slavery because it's way more economically feasible to have them be free, pay them very, very little wages, and then sell the products back to them at a markup.
Oh, that's it. So it's.
Are you arguing for universal income? I love you, man.
Listen, I don't have a problem with owning people. That doesn't bother me at all. But I've crunched the numbers, and if they made a little money, they'd buy shit from me, and I like that.
That's honestly how you convince a lot of people in this world, Kyle. You go like, yeah, I know you don't care about the moral side of it, but you're going to make more money by being decent. And they're like, okay, sign me up.
Man, people in the 1800s are crazy. It's a good thing we've changed.
We're totally different now.
We have matured so much. There's probably like 100,000 smarter people than there were then. We're slowly making it.
The politics soon escalated to violence. A free stater was shot by a pro-slavery settler, followed by the near destruction of an abolitionist town. An abolitionist group then kidnapped 5 pro-slavery men and hacked them to death with swords.
Oh my God.
Pro-slavery guy's full of
Antifa.
shit. If he really stood by his morals, he would have had a slave do it.
Right? Well, he probably did. You just don't know from the story.
No, the pro-slavery men were the ones who were hacked to death.
Oh, well,
Yeah, they should. They should have had more slaves to defend them.
that's
Obviously,
true. Yeah, I mean, guys.
If you were a slave, though, and like you were supposed to defend him right as he's about to get hacked to death, wouldn't you be like, I got you, sir. I'm your slave. And then right away, he's right over here.
Yeah, you're just like,
Like,
just
hold on, I got a cramp.
lightly hitting
just,
him. Yeah.
You just hold on, I'm coming. Oh man, this leg. I should have drank more water. I think.
Oh, master.
Yeah, I'll shoot him, massa. Whoops, I missed.
Yeah. Look out, master. He's coming up from your left. Oh, that was your right. Sorry.
Who covered my musket in Vaseline? I can't seem to get the trigger
You
to pull off.
sabotage him?
If
Did
only
someone put raisins in my musket?
if only I was allowed to read, I might know my right from left, you asshole.
Yeah. Oh, are they chopping you up, you fucking asshole? I'm a human being, not a machine.
By the time Bill arrived with his mother and siblings in 1857, the territory was known as Bleeding, Kansas.
That sounds like a non-fun place to go. Bleeding Kansas. Oh, she's a bitch, that city.
But the Andersons stayed out of the political mess
And made
focusing-
pea soup in
Bloody
Northern
fucking mess.
California. Okay.
focusing on developing their homestead near the frontier along the Santa Fe Trail. By 1860, the U.S. Census gave the 320-acre Anderson homestead an estimated value of $1,000, 28 grand today,
That's still super affordable for
above
300
average
acres?
for the time.
300 acres? Dude, crime could go buy that property right now and call it the land of crime.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's already called bleeding.
yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a desirable neighborhood.
I guess we wouldn't change the name, but
You know what's crazy about that is that I have heard that you can buy a home in Detroit right now for the same as you could buy 320 acres in 1860.
you can't even get like a doormat in Southern California for that much.
You have a doormat?
Well, I stole
Bougie.
it. I stole it. I learned from our
I like
show.
to think the people living and bleeding, they're just like, oh, my plow's broken. I got to go over to Pussy and get a new one. Going to town.
Oh, God, staph infection. Don't even venture.
I like to go to Foot Gangrene, Minnesota.
Yeah.
As the eldest
I
son,
like to go to Barf, Vermont, and just watch the whole thing and just puke.
you ever been to Open Boil, Colorado?
Oozing, Missouri.
God, that makes me want to barf right now. Oozing, Missouri. Oh, my God. Everyone from these places is going to write us emails.
As the eldest son, half of that value belonged to 21-year-old Bill. But the census didn't tell the whole story.
I'm getting a census this is going somewhere.
As things were already starting to break bad for the Andersons. First, in the late 1850s, Bill's brother Ellis was forced to flee to Iowa after an altercation with, quote, a drunken Indian ended when he shot the man through the head.
Okay. He's lying.
To make matters worse, the region was hit by a massive drought, crippling farms all across the territory.
This is what Woody Guthrie wrote his songs about.
Then
this event.
In 1860, tragedy struck when his mother was killed by a bolt of lightning.
Shit.
Did they get an insurance policy on her from Joe Oil?
Do you have your lightning and bolt insurance? You know, it's common enough.
You know what? I actually have a friend who's that's happened to. Yeah, that's very common.
Like,
Yeah, so-
I remember in middle school, people were like, your mom is so fat. I'd be like, fuck out, you don't know my mom. But like, when your mom gets hit by lightning, dude, that's like God, like really got your mom with a your mama joke bad. Like
Yeah.
God fucking hates her, dude.
Or just the laws of average.
God is just Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
the math of the universe.
Boom.
Yeah, I think this might have been God pre-punishing Bill Anderson here.
By
As you-
killing his mama?
Oh, yeah.
Was she a bad person or well?
I mean, I don't know what she was like.
they were
as a person.
abolitionists though. These were people trying to fight against slavery.
I think that they were kind of just fuck it, let's go to Kansas-ists.
That's the people I was asking about earlier. I was like, do they really care about slavery or is it just part of their identity politics? Go on with your story, you Nazi.
Your mom's so conductive, she gets hit by lightning.
Ooh, that's good.
Bill-
It smells good. Put some Kentucky barbecue sauce on it. Burnt tips.
Bill took a gig escorting wagon trains along the Santa Fe Trail.
Right this way, wagon train.
Yeah. Just keep going. Follow the fucking trail, dude.
Or they called him up for dinner and he's like, I don't have sex with the wagon trains. I just go to dinner with them. I offer companionship. I'm
Hey,
not a wagon train escort.
Why is the new guy here in a red dress and plastic heels?
So, wagon, what do you do for a living?
Are you ready to... you don't seem like you're very well dressed for the trail.
Does it get lonely, wagon? I would love to spend the night if you're interested.
Well, my wife was a train car, and I haven't seen her in a long time.
Well, maybe we could get a little bit more comfortable. You have like a birthday card you could put some money in and, pass it across the dinner table?
Can I pay you for just the girlfriend car experience?
You definitely can.
Bill took a gig escorting wagon trains. He set out on his first ride, but when he and his boss returned, they reported that they lost the train.
He stole it. He
Because
stole
the
it
horses
and
and
he
mules
pocketed,
wandered
he
off.
pocketed all the
she's
stuff.
dead in a ditch. The train's dead in a ditch.
I delivered newspapers when I was a kid, and I used to just throw them in the trash and be like, they're done. That's exactly what happened. I know. That's my crime right there. I know.
When Bill started taking ponies into Missouri and returning with horses for sale, people grew suspicious, especially the local ranchers who happened to be missing ponies. As the drought worsened, thousands of people left the territory. Those that stuck behind were either too poor to leave, or they were bandits, also known as Jayhawks.
It's pretty much the same as Kansas now.
And who still call themselves Jayhawks, by the way.
They're either Jayhawks or too poor to leave, basically.
You know, I'm not one to really crap on a university, but rock chalk Jayhawk is just a bunch of words that rhyme.
Yeah, listen, that's the most exciting thing in Kansas. I got pulled over once in Kansas. Fuck Kansas. I've been mad at Kansas for years now.
All I know of Kansas is
That they're fine people, especially the ones who are coming to our live
I was
tour.
just going to say, we're never performing at that college if this is the way you're going to talk.
In January of 1861, Kansas joined the Union as a free state.
Yeah, what's up? Was that good or bad?
That means no slaves.
Yeah, what's up?
Just months before the outbreak of the Civil War.
That was the last time Kansas was woke.
The chaotic,
2 weeks later, they paid a bunch of slaves. They bought a bunch of slaves and became jerky jerks.
free state. I thought that meant that we got slaves for free.
Yeah, that was a buy one, get one free slave thing.
Wait,
you know?
hold on.
We're a BOGO state.
I thought you said free steak. I'm fucking starving.
I've got a constitution here somewhere. No, not that one. No, not that one. Son of a bitch.
Oh, man. I guess we need a fifth constitution.
The wrong constitution.
All right, Third Amendment on the Fourth Constitution says give me free slaves, right?
The chaotic conditions provided great cover for Jayhawks, who would alternate between raiding nearby Missouri and plundering their own neighbors.
This is like the Australia on our land.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a town of raiders.
The Midwest is America, Australia.
That's right. Australia, America, actually, is how it's pronounced.
I get that. By 1862, the problem grew so large that the Kansas governor publicly declared the state was, quote, overrun by thieves and highway robbers.
Did he declare it like Michael Scott declares bankruptcy? He just walked around yelling it. I declare this state is overrun by highway robbers. Yes, but what would
tweeted
you
it.
like on your pizza, sir?
Whenever I hear someone say declare, I do imagine them just yelling it repeatedly.
I do declare this state is overrun by robbers. All right, you want me to take some more off the side or the top, sir?
Arthur Ingram Baker.
Ooh, another name. 3 names. No one has no middle
The
name.
Arthur, the Ingram, the baker, and the candlestick maker.
They all walk into a bar with a rabbi, a priest.
Was a man of status. He owned all the buildings in Agnes City, which he founded and named after his mother.
Pussy. What a bitch. Sorry, Mom. I would totally name a city after you if you need.
Hey, that's a sorry mom for Mrs. Shefsky.
Yeah, she doesn't listen anyways.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, Mrs. Slaton.
Well, no, she's Ms. Newton, actually. She kept her maiden name.
Iron Maiden name.
My mom's powerful.
She kept her
That's
Iron
what's up.
Maiden name. Your mama's metal. That's why she has a bunch.
My mom is so metal, bro.
That's why she has a bunch of hickeys on her neck, because she messes around.
Baker owned one of the biggest cornfields in Kansas and served as the postmaster, justice of the peace, and district judge. In 1861, he purchased the town's only hotel and became owner and editor of the local paper.
Hey, extra, read all about it. You need a place to stay? You need some corn? You need a lettuce sent? Talk to me. I'm your guy, for sure.
He owns the whole thing. Was this Disney in the old days?
Extra, read all about it. Baker has a huge dick. That's also me, in case you guys weren't aware. Also, you could, his hotel's great. That's mine.
If you want baked goods, though, you're gonna need to go down the street to Jones's place. That's the only thing I don't do, despite having it in my name.
I'm just thinking this guy must have been fun to work for, right? Because he must have been so busy just swapping.
He's all of his own
day
employees.
That he's his only guy. Like takes your order at the front, he fries it up, he runs to the drive-through, he comes back up, puts on a different shirt when he needs to go sweep.
Hey,
out
Baker,
front.
is that hamburger ready? Yes, Mr. Baker.
He talks to himself. You almost done with the paper for tomorrow morning? The printing press all cleaned up? Yes, sir, Mr. Baker. Yes, sir.
Gee whiz, I gotta make all these beds in my hotel. I gotta get that. God, I could really use some slaves if I think about
he
it.
owns the brothel and it's just him. Right this way, ma'am.
Oh, Judge Baker, please come on in. Take a seat. Yes, I will.
How much for a classic suck and fuck?
Does
$45, sir.
Does anyone know where I could find a trail escort? I need to populate this whorehouse.
Try to have sex with a wooden caravan. It will burn your cock.
Suffice to say, Baker was very heavily invested in the city. So when the drought hit, he took a massive loss. By the fall, he was forced to sell the paper, the hotel, and his farm suffered a complete crop failure, and then his cows died, followed by his wife.
So now he has to rely on his other 47 businesses to keep himself afloat.
So in late 1861, Baker decided it was time to become a Jayhawk. He planned a raid into Missouri and enlisted the help of Bill and Jim Anderson.
So this guy went from a total square life of running all these businesses and was just like, I got to be a criminal now so I can survive.
Yeah.
The old days, huh? It's a Breaking Bad story.
He became a counterfeiter, a robber,
A counterfeiter,
murderer,
arsonist.
He's also the detective, though. He's like, I'm on the trail, but it's so far off.
I followed this guy's feet and it's brought me right back to where I am.
There was a struggle.
The mission, the raid into Missouri, was a total disaster. While camped in Missouri, the outlaws suddenly found themselves fending off an attack by Union soldiers who mistook them for pro-Confederate bushwhackers. All the bandits escaped save for two. One was killed, the other, Baker, was captured. Baker spent the next 4 months in Union custody. So, just as a quick thing for everybody, Jayhawks are typically pro-Union bandits from Kansas, and bushwhackers are typically pro-Confederate bandits, usually from Missouri, Kentucky, that sort of region.
So we just got to have them up on the whiteboard, the dry erase board in our mind. Okay.
I like the Jayhawks just like, well, obviously owning people is wrong, but yeah, run your shit. Give me your shit. I'm here to rob you, fucko.
Oh, yeah, no, owning people is wrong, but stealing from them is hot.
You can be a non-racist criminal. Come on, fellers. Nothing wrong with that. I rob a few banks, but like I love my Jews, I love my Middle Easterns, I love my Mexicans.
When Baker got his release in April, he was quick to declare his loyalty to the Union and set himself to his new task, acquiring a replacement wife. He began to make regular...
It's such a standard way to say it. He's looking for love, man.
You just go into Missouri, steal one, fuck it.
I'm acquiring a replacement wife. I declare I require a replacement wife.
Oh, hey, honey, you look pretty good over there. Oh, do I? Do I look pretty good? I can help you run all your businesses. Oh, can you? Who are you? Who are you? Wait a second.
You come here often? Yeah, why? Want to go out? Sure. And then he just jacks himself off in public.
I think you caught on.
You know what I like about you? You're an exhibitionist, and you like when people watch.
Also, we never argue, which is really convenient.
No, I'm sure this guy argues. Most psycho people, they argue in their head.
Baker began to make regular trips to court Mary Ellen, Bill Anderson's 15-year-old sister.
Oof.
Whoa, we're talking about 15-year-old frontier pussy.
William Sr. approved of the match.
Got that raccoon cap.
But later he learned that Baker was instead engaged to a 17-year-old school teacher.
Oh, finally, someone of the right age.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to have a teacher that's had some life experience.
I was going to say, she's a teacher. It's the old days. Let her,
Once you have a job and it's not sewing soccer balls, I think it's sort of like up in the air if we're talking about 1860s time.
Yeah. Dude, she's going to die in like 2 months anyways, right? Some sort of typhoid or whatever you get on the Oregon Trail. She's going to get sick.
Baker further incensed the elder William when he formed a posse to hunt down Lee Griffin, a cousin of the Anderson family, on the correct suspicion that Griffin stole 2 horses from his father-in-law-to-be.
A lot of horse thievery here.
So,
What else? You don't have anything else to steal. You're like, what are you going to steal? I don't know, my rock? No, that's my dad. Please don't steal my dad.
Please don't take my dad.
hey, what's up? My name's Bill. Here to marry your daughter, steal some of your horses. You got a wife I can fuck. What's going on?
This is a really weird demands from your guests.
Do you have a dad I can put in my slingshot and shoot at somebody?
How small's your dad?
Do you got a wagon I can put a dress on?
So on May 11th,
Just imagine like the wood and all
1862,
the spikes and just all the splinters on your genitals.
the Andersons rode to Baker's house and threatened to kill him unless he withdrew the accusation. But Baker, backed by his employees, had the Andersons outnumbered and outgunned, so they left in a huff. The next morning, William Sr. left the house armed with a double-barrel shotgun and a belly full of whiskey.
Oh, that always ends good.
He stopped at the local saloon for another drink before heading to Baker's house.
Did they even eat anything else? Did they just have whiskey?
Is he there to pick up his daughter, or like is that?
What do? You eat rocks and pick up daughters. That's the only 2 things that you do.
That's what cows do.
William Sr. marched up the stairs, only to find himself face-to-face with Baker's shotgun.
Oh, fuck.
I'm looking for Baker and a clean pair of shorts.
Baker fired. William Sr. did not.
Oh,
Dad fell down the stairs dead, never realizing that when he stopped at the saloon, the owner, a friend of Baker's,
yeah, he put up the flag, right? He set off a dove.
had removed the firing caps, rendering his gun useless.
Oh, fuck! He didn't warn the other guy. He just made sure the gun wouldn't work.
That's a lot of people don't realize it's super dangerous to fall downstairs. It can kill you.
Yeah, I mean,
even without a
especially,
gunshot.
especially if the gun hasn't got you already.
Was it a messy one? Did his head get blown square off? I mean, was there a splat?
No, but there's gonna be some.
more
There'll be
circular,
some
but-
messes today, my friend.
There'll be some messes
Don't you
here?
worry.
I
yeah.
like the message ones with the jelly.
Soon after, Baker, being the
jelly?
local judge, issued an arrest warrant for Bill on charges of horse theft. That night, Bill and Jim fled to Missouri, 3 weeks later, the 3 Anderson sisters followed.
Oh, with them big old booties.
I like I pictured like the Anderson sisters like a doo-wop group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
big hair,
Oh yeah, dude. On horses too,
backup singers.
with their butt cheeks just jiggling on there, wearing black thongs. Little
On
tattoos.
July 3rd,
little butt cheek tattoos. Maybe
a
flower.
stranger knocked on Baker's door asking to buy whiskey so his wagon train could properly celebrate July 4th.
Trying to get his wagon train junk.
Yeah.
She ain't putting out, man. Y'all got some whiskey I can pour on my wagon?
I put the dress on her. She's still not in the mood.
How big would a dress have to be to fit over a wagon? If anyone wants me to stop this riff, go ahead and email CRiiiME at, oh, it won't be in time. Fuck y'all. I'm going with this riff.
Baker was cautious. He'd even taken to placing extra shotgun cartridges on every windowsill of his house.
Oh, that's
just
pimpin'.
in case the Andersons showed
That's
up.
badass for an old fashioned when you're turned the opposite way and then you turn around, you fire, and you go back down again. You can just grab the shells. Oh, hell yeah. Maybe ask your dad for some advice while he sits in the corner. Hey, can I get some advice? And it's just a rock.
Baker family's got some real weird Christmas decorations. in their windows.
Is their last name making anybody else hungry for, I don't know, carby, kind of like chicken pot pies and like, you know, that kind of stuff?
Like how you feel, bro? Still,
Kyle's all, he's
Makes
not
me want to
into
go to a hotel, actually.
Baker Hotel?
Yeah, read a paper.
a sale was a sale. So he strapped on a pair of pistols and enlisted his new 16-year-old brother-in-law to accompany him.
This is for the whiskey?
Yeah, to go get the whiskey for this customer.
So for one thing of whiskey, he's willing to go out and possibly like get into, he doesn't smell something weird going on?
Well, he put on his pistols and brought a bodyguard with him.
That's not enough.
Yeah, I don't get that though. Like what? So some guy comes to his house and he goes, "Hey, I want whiskey," and he goes, "Okay, let me go get it." I tell the guy, "Hey, it's over there. Go get it." You know what I mean? Like
It might have been, I mean, they could have
Is
been
he, like-
locked up in the old days, you know?
like
Like,
1800s Postmates or some shit.
it's probably locked. There wasn't. That was actually a Kevin Costner movie, I think, and he was the only Postmate.
Well, Baker was a Postmate, so
Yeah.
When they arrived at the store,
Daddy was a Rolling Stone and Baker was a Postmate.
Baker offered his client a drink, but the bottle was empty. So he went to the basement to refill it from his barrel. When the liquor reached the top of the bottle,
There was a shotgun pointed at his head.
he closed the tap and turned to find Bill and Jim Anderson.
Oh, wait, what?
Mr. Anderson.
The guy from the Matrix?
Yes. Baker drew and fired, hitting Jim in the leg. But Bill's shot hit him square in the chest.
Ooh, that is not good in the old days.
As Baker moaned on the floor, Bill and Jem went back upstairs, shot Baker's brother-in-law, and threw him in the cellar.
Oh, this is fucking horrifying.
Dude, I'm just gonna stop right now. If you think this is horrifying, we should stop because
is that cold-blooded kind of like a murder?
this is a cold-blooded story, my friend.
Oh, ficht.
Then the brothers closed the trap door.
I love this thing you try to get back to. Then the brothers, where was I? There, where's my? What? Well, follow your thumb.
Then the brothers closed the trap door, covered it with boxes and barrels, and lit them on fire.
Oh, so they're gonna fucking burn these guys alive while they're bleeding to death? Okay.
Then they headed to Baker's house, which they also set on fire. On a whim, they torched his barn before fleeing on stolen horses.
Oh man, this is like the first act in like a revenge movie.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a flashback in a Quentin Tarantino
he's-
movie.
I hope that Billy guy comes back. Was his name Billy Baker or something like that? Like Baker, who's the?
Well, you're about to find out that Baker's not coming back because after the flames subsided, locals discovered that he had not died by the fire, but instead by a self-inflicted
Drank
bullet to the
himself
head.
to death.
Oh, like he was suffering so bad in there, he just killed himself.
He was like, I'm going to burn to death, so
oh
fuck
my
it.
god, that's fucking creepy, dude. When people fucking are gonna like die worse and they have to kill themselves so they don't die worse, that's fucking insane. That's inhumane. It's
Damn,
fucking
I was really
awful.
hoping-
Why are you smiling, Slayton? It's fucking
Hoping it's
scary.
like a Freddy Krueger thing, like
Oh,
we're just
yeah.
this burnt
You
out
wanted a
guy
supernatural
comes-
story?
Yeah, I wanted a supernatural story. How's this podcast work?
But there's supernatural stuff. Actually, is there? No, we don't do that. But that's not real. So we can't do it for you. We can make it up. Let's do a Halloween episode right now. The ghost of Baker haunted children from then on until now. If you listen, you can still smell the smell of burning flesh and whiskey.
The brothers returned to Missouri
Fuck y'all for not getting into my urban legend or whatever.
and
Was that
devoted
urban
their
legend?
full time to banditry. But eventually, they caught the attention of William Clark Quantrill, chief of the largest band of bushwhackers in the state. Quantrill was upset, but not at the competition. Instead, because the Andersons killed both Unionist and pro-Confederate civilians.
Yeah, fuck everyone, dude. I like bushwhackers. Like, yeah, bro, I'm a bushwhacker. You know what I mean? I just love whacking bush. Like, I don't think he knows how pussies work. What's he doing?
I mean, you could consider it.
yeah,
whacking
dude.
a
I
bitch.
keep hitting it, but she says she's not into it. I don't know what
whacking her bush, dude.
I don't understand what it is. Watch me thwap. See? She doesn't like it.
Like with his hand, like a backhand?
Yeah.
Hey, how about a fresh one?
Yeah, you hear that screaming? She loved it.
Yeah, I bet 1 out of 12 would be like, that's pretty, I found a
She was
girl who likes my
screaming 'cause it
style.
hurt.
Quantrill captured the Andersons,
Sounds like a black dude, doesn't it, Quantrill?
confiscated their horses. I mean, yeah, an 1860s militia leader.
That's what's ironic.
Pro-slavery. Yeah, I see
That's
what you're
how we're
saying.
going to remember it. Is
Oh,
that's ironic.
irony. I've heard of that.
Irony.
He captured the Andersons, confiscated their horses, warned them to focus only on Unionists or they would be killed. The boys were pissed, but they weren't stupid. They headed west and stuck to robbing Yankees. Bill Anderson's crew now had between 30 and 40 marauders, robbing and pillaging all across the land. They raided a German settlement, killing 5. 2 weeks later, they tried to rob another house, only to be rebuffed by the well-armed owner and his friends.
What does that mean to be rebuffed?
Turned away, beaten, stopped.
These fellas are pretty rude.
Wait, this group was going to do awful things. They'd already burned people and killed people, and then one place rebuffed them.
Yeah, they're like, hey, fuck off, you guys. Are like, oh, all right.
Man, no one tried that
Darn
before.
it.
Yeah. My shoulder's sore.
Not a lot of people realize this about Marauders, but vampire rules. They have to play by vampire rules.
Yeah, if you tell them to fuck off, they're very susceptible to profanity.
Yeah,
So you just go fuck off. They're like, oh man, guess I'll go kill and murder someone else.
Is that a vampire rule?
We're all about killing. We're all about murdering. But slavery, not cool with it. And if we're not invited, we're not going to just trespass.
These guys like
are
slavery.
Cool with slavery. Dicks.
These are the bushwhackers. They're not the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
They're the bushwhackers. I want to keep saying bushwhacker.
You like that, huh?
It's a fun
Don't you?
word.
I think of it in a gentle way, not mean and like beating up a vagina. I think of it as like a friendly, like you ever just like slam it down, you know, like a
Thwap.
They just
thwap.
like as a joke.
They're just into trimming pubes.
Yeah, they just like they get a little they lay
Bushwhackers just sound like a really weird bazillion blowout bra.
they kind of like lay the snake down in the grass a little bit, you know, and just move it around a little, like nothing abusive.
Hi, welcome to Bushwhackers.
Oh my god, that's my favorite restaurant.
We're just in time, ready for Valentine's Day. We're gonna get you looking trim and cut.
Oh, bushwhackers. Do you guys wax?
And just hear a weed whacker start.
Oh my god.
I think I'm in the wrong place.
No. You'll be raw for a couple days, but I'm telling you, in a week, you're going to be so impressed with how you look.
Are you trained for this?
Do you want the Hitler mustache or the V
Of
for
course I
Vendetta?
am. I'm 17. I've been doing this for years now.
That's right. I'm 30% through my life.
Pissed off, Bill and company blew off steam by murdering a county commissioner and burning 4 more houses.
God, all this raping and pillaging and murder.
They've done no raping.
Oh, well, they're not monsters.
They don't believe in rape. They believe in slavery, though,
Yeah, slavery and murder.
which involves rape.
Bill Anderson was now a notorious bandit. Between his raids and those of Quantrill, the Union desperately wanted a solution. Since they couldn't find the men, they settled for their families. Union troops arrested 9 women on charges of spying for the Confederacy, including the 2 older Anderson sisters.
Who are hot
Mrs.
AF.
Anderson's.
Mrs. Anderson's with their
The
big old
youngest,
booties.
only 10, wasn't arrested, but went with them anyway because she had nowhere to go.
Where are you guys going?
That's like when your friend gets the DUI and they tow his car. You're like, well, I really don't have a ride home, so I'm drunk too.
I guess
You hold
jail
your
has
hands out?
seats.
Yeah, yeah.
You start admitting stuff, you're like, yeah, officer, I have mushrooms if you want to take me somewhere because, fuck, I don't have a bus pass, so, and my phone's out, so I can't Uber anywhere.
Can you just throw me in the back with him?
The women were taken to a 3-story brick building in Kansas City, serving as the jail. Only a couple years old, the building already showed dangerous structural weaknesses on account of Union soldiers removing walls and posts to make more room.
That's the worst way to make
right.
a building. Yeah, well,
Ladies, this jail works on the honor system, so
there aren't very many walls besides the walls in our mind.
you just hear the gate like click, click, and then the girls just turn around and it's just
It's just open.
wall.
This is open. Now I'll trust that the good Lord fitted you with some real honor, and you won't go to your left.
The only jailer is Michael Winslow, and he just makes noises to make it sound like, "Woo! See, more of us are coming right now. Clink, locked you in.
Dude. That's the heat sinking system. We're watching you, ma'am.
The yes and jail, like they have to.
Now you want to be a good improver, don't you, ma'am? It's your family name.
Welcome to UCP. It's the Upright Citizens Prison.
That's
Yes, and you cannot have a free meal.
Yeah.
That wall over there is made out of solid cement.
Yes, and no, you can't
Yes,
leave.
it is.
When cracks appeared in the first floor walls, the local marshal sent a soldier to inspect the problem.
But when the Kool-Aid guy busted through, we knew there was a problem, but everyone was thirsty.
As he made his notes, the building collapsed.
With people in it?
4 women were crushed to death, including the middle Anderson sister.
Ah, she was the hot one too, right?
Not sure.
That's
but
her
I'm going
name?
to go with, not sure. Mary Ellen and 10-year-old Janine survived, but one was crippled and disfigured while the other suffered 2 broken legs, an injured back, and a lacerated face.
And that sucked.
And the 10-year-old's like, oh, I picked a hell of a week to quit smoking.
I'm going to go back to my job in the mines.
Yeah.
Should have stayed home.
On August 21st...
How'd we turn into Mr. Hanky?
On August 21st, 1863, about a week after the collapse, Bill Anderson sat on his horse overlooking Lawrence, Kansas.
Does he know about the collapse?
Next to him was William Quantrill, his former adversary.
What's up, Quantrill?
While the bushwhacker chieftains had previously rejected the idea of raiding the town of 3,000 with only a few hundred men,
Oh, just talking to your boys, the bushwhackers.
the jail collapse changed everything. Bill believed it was done
Really,
on
their
purpose.
9/11, the jail collapse.
Yeah. They're jail collapse truthers and stuff like that?
They really are jail collapse truthers. That's not even that riff is reality.
Really?
Bill Anderson 100% believed it was done on purpose to kill his family.
Actually,
Bush
it might
did
have
the
been.
jail collapse. The bushwhackers did the jail collapse.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, it's all adding up, boys.
That's really weird. Yeah.
Just want to be the voice of reason, guys. I don't think that the militia did it, but I think they knew about it and let it happen.
Yeah, but why did Outhouse 7 collapse? It wasn't even attached to the building.
How did Outhouse 7 collapse?
Outhouse 7.
The wood seemed so sturdy. While they spared the women and children, Bill and Quantrill and their men murdered every man and teenage boy. Bill himself killed 14.
How biblical.
By 9 a.m., 4 hours into the bloodshed, the town was in flames and 200 men lay dead.
I thought it was like, oh, God, we're 4 hours into this. Let's take a lunch.
You got to stop. There's a really good turkey sandwich place.
Union tent.
There was a Togo's. There's a Togo's right
Hey,
around
boss, when do we get our union break?
Yeah.
there. You just keep raping and pillaging.
Before riding
Well,
out...
you know how murdering takes it out of him. He has to blow off steam by murdering.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Hey, do you have anybody I can murder on the side here while I'm relaxing from all the murder?
Yeah, I need a murder break. Jesus, this is really doing my head in.
Before riding out, Bill told onlookers, quote, "I'm here for revenge and I have got it." Tensions grew between Bill and the chief as Quantrill tried to establish discipline amongst his ranks. When a member of Anderson's gang named Morgan stole a bolt of cloth from locals sympathetic to Quantrill, the chieftain had him escorted to Indian territory, warning the outlaw that he'd be shot if they saw him again. But Morgan gave 0 fucks, crossed back over the border, then robbed and killed a farmer.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you do when someone says, if we ever see you again, we're going to kill you? Like, where are you guys going to be?
Well, he said, like, go that way, basically.
Yeah, but then again, you're like, what if I come back this way again?
Quantrill had him captured and executed. So that's what happened.
That's what happened? Oh, fuck. Okay. There's your answer, dumb chef.
Yeah, you die.
Okay.
That's your answer.
Okay.
Well, they put him across the Red River, which is a good border, like a very simple border in that area.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, go across the Red River, and if we see you come on this side of it again, fuck you.
And he
was
came
like,
right back.
He was like, hey, fuck you. And then they,
Then they killed him.
Yeah.
They fucking killed him.
Yeah.
They mean business. Hey, at least they said, let everyone know. We're not joking.
That summer, Bill went. Oh, no. Now Bill Anderson was truly pissed off. He considered trying to kill Quantrill, but decided it was too dangerous. Instead, he declared he could no longer be part of, quote, such a damn outfit, and left with 20 men. By the way, he was also pissed off because they had raided a town and succeeded in stealing what they wanted. But then when he wanted to go and kill every Union soldier, Quantrill was like, well, let's not risk it. He was like, fuck you, pussy. I want to kill all the Union soldiers because I'm here for revenge. So between not murdering enough and killing his buddy, that's where all the tension came from. In case you guys wanted to know.
I guess, we'll blow off some steam, kill a few people,
Nothing wrong with that.
He tried to set up Quantrill for capture, but that failed. So Bill spent the next few months chasing his former chieftain before growing bored and marrying a woman named Bush Smith.
There's a lot of bushes in this story.
A lot of bush in this story.
A lot of bush.
Also, I think that's a really shame that we've lost that as a first name for women.
So
Bush.
What's Quantrill doing now?
He's out raiding with a bigger group.
What's his name?
They're both whacking bushes.
Anderson's just going solo. He's like
Anderson has like 20 or 30 guys that he's peeled off with.
Does Contra look like D.L. Hughley, like with a big fro?
Yes, precisely.
Okay.
I'm glad. I can't believe you caught that on the first try too.
and they're in Missouri.
Wait, are you serious? No.
They're like they're kind of floating between Missouri and Texas and some other places right now. But Missouri is like the home base of all the operations.
I wonder if if Anderson's like he gets to a place and like all the guys are dead and shit's all on fire and everything's missing, he's like, oh, son of a bitch, Contrail's and his merry men have been here.
That actually back and forth happened a lot amongst all these groups where they get somewhere and be like, fuck, someone already murdered everybody.
Yeah.
Like they walk around with their
Damn
heads
it.
low and their buddy has to come up and put the hand on their shoulder like, don't worry, bud, we'll get the next one.
Yeah.
He's like, I just wanted to kill her, and I have a taste for blood. And
Quantrill is his Lucy with the football.
Yeah.
I keep going to kick these people in the head, and he pulls them away at the last second.
Listen, you miss the pillages you don't take, right?
So they're currently in Texas.
really good
to be clear.
motivational, like old school murder poster.
So Bill marries Bush Smith, then gathers his men and headed back to Missouri.
Get that bush, dog.
That summer, Bill went on a tear.
What if, ironically, she was into Brazilian waxing?
On June 12th, 14 federal troops waved at the approaching Union cavalry.
14.
Hey, fellas. Hi. 80 men on horseback rode right up to them before opening fire. Within seconds, 12 of the troops were dead. It was Bill and his men, dressed in Union blues stolen from murdered soldiers.
So their group is so big that, like, even like federal troops they don't have enough. Like, their squads are too small to even like deal with these guys. There's 80 of these guys. You'd have to, right?
Well, this is sort of early. This is early for Missouri in the Civil War.
Yeah, what
Missouri
year is it?
Right now we're in 1864, and while the Civil War is raging more over near the original colonies, Missouri is so far west and still sort of unsettled that it hasn't really hit Missouri hard.
Yeah.
yet.
So there's small squads of dudes.
Yeah.
The federal dudes, but they're like the big troops are not. Right?
Yeah,
the big,
the
platoons or whatever. I
Exactly.
don't know what they used to call them in those days, but yeah, like the big group of dudes,
The big
isn't there.
teams.
So if you had 80
The
dudes,
big dance troops.
if you had 80 dudes, even though you were like vigilantes or crazy criminals or whatever else, you were going to outnumber even federal troops. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Hey, look, it's the Union soldiers. Hey, why do they all have bloody holes in their uniform? I don't know. Uh-oh.
they're fucking dead, bro.
Zombie Union soldiers.
That's mine. That's actually just a new medal that we get now. Is when you do some good service, they shoot you through the chest and there's like a bloody hole.
It's a retirement patch, really.
Bill and his group dismounted their horses, stripped the bodies, and took a scalp for good measure.
Oh, good God.
It's a weird thing. What?
It's how it was the trophy in the old days. It was the proof. You know what they used to
Also,
say? Pixar didn't happen.
little known fact: the first fleshlight is a scalp.
Oh my God, you said it, folks. Say you heard it here first.
It's like the 1800s version of Pogs.
Sorry, Mom.
That is so true. You know, by law of average alone,
By law of averages, definitely happened. at least
combined
once.
with one sick human in
yeah.
all of history that's a murderer and has a scalp and has an erection and is tired of regular jerkin, that some dude in the old days scalped someone and then had sex with that scalp.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a weird Puerto Rican dude having sex with chicken skin.
Right now, I would bet every dollar I own on that being
Slaton,
true.
you can't bet $7 right now. Go on with your fucking story.
On the morning of July 4th, 1864, Bill and his boys, carrying between 2 and 5 guns each, headed to the docks of the town, unfortunate enough to host them for the weekend, where they tried to steal a steamboat.
Named Willie.
But the crew saw them coming and pulled away just in time to cower as the pilot house splintered into the hail of around 200 bullets.
You can quickly pull a steamboat away from something?
Well, they saw them coming from a distance because it's not like they were blocked by all the big skyscrapers in the area.
All right, you cocky prick.
That's what I do. Bill and company spent the rest of the day getting shit-canned drunk, having their photos taken, and firing at passing steamers.
Cool guys, fun guys. Jesus, that's a hell of a spring
what a
break.
hoot. Let's take our pictures, these little selfie bitches.
Yeah, I like the guy whose job it is to take pictures. He's like, oh, fuck, just take the picture. Can these guys leave? I imagine it as like one of those places where...
Please don't kill me after I take your picture.
They want to get their picture taken, and they have all the old-timey clothes, like it's all cowboy clothes, but it's just current clothes. They're like, hey, guys, we're going to look like cowboys, right?
These just don't have boogers or blood on them. You boys want to wear them instead of yours?
Hey, what's that wagon doing here? It's a picture of me and my girl.
That's my girl, yeah.
One of them's dressed up like the prostitute. They've got like the garter on their leg.
The dude. When
dress.
the dude does it. I like
Man, why do I have to be the whore every time?
Yeah.
My thing is that we're making fun of these guys and we're calling them a bunch of pussies and whatever else. These
Because
guys
200 years ago.
These guys would scalp us.
160 years ago.
They would scalp us.
fuck our scalp,
We
man.
wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, no, they would murder us a lot. It'd be not fun.
You know what I'm wondering about these guys? How many? Like, we're going through the Civil War now, right?
Sure.
And just a little bit ago, what, like 100, not even, was it 100 years before we had the revolution and we told Mama England, like, fuck
About
off?
90 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so just a generation and a half or whatever you want to call it. Well, in those days, it's probably 2 generations, right? 2 generations later, we're going through that. At the time that we were fighting off England, how many of those people ended up being like the psycho, like, you know, the left and the right, and just, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, plenty.
where it's like, my dad was on this side, my dad was on this side, and like, or how many of those people worked together to do the right thing during the revolution?
I think this one was probably crazier because people were expanding westmore, so there was a bunch more of that like complete lawlessness.
Yeah, it's like
whereas
Road
during
Warrior.
it was a little bit more contained to the coasts where there was more population
just the
centers. during
colonies
Revolutionary
and
War.
whatever else.
Yeah, I think it hadn't gotten to like that point where it's like, I've been out deep into the territory. It's been nothing but me, my rock dad, and my wagon girl for months, and I'm ready to kill.
God, just all these inanimate objects that you talk to. Oh,
Oh man, that's got to be so common back then.
everybody's
you
a
know, like-
Wilson. Yeah,
Yeah, everybody's a Wilson.
How are you doing? Okay, I'm doing all right.
As a quick note on us getting facts right, because we nailed like some dates there for that moment. I just want to note my mother after the last episode that we released. She called me to make sure that I knew that it was not Gallipoli, but Gallipoli, because I'd never actually heard it pronounced before.
Oh, God bless you, Mrs. Slaton.
She's keeping us on point. And then also, one of our listeners wrote in to, I think it might have been Ben actually, who told me, who sent me a message being like, "Hey, by the way, it's not pronounced Viscount, even though there's an S in the damn word. It's like Viscount or something."
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know your Christian terms for you English Christians or whatever.
Well, now
I only
you do.
know good things like pastor.
Well, now you do.
I'll tell you after the last episode of this that I heard, do horses have clits is in my Google search history. So,
And they doth have it.
yeah, they do. I thought it was just a Shefsky riff, and nope, they got clit.
They have 2 of them?
It's
That's
weird that
amazing.
you
I
know
might
that.
riff about a lot of stuff, but horse
I
clits.
do not joke about
Horse, I stay serious on horse clits.
But the
bro.
initial question that I had, that made me stop and ask you right now, was basically like asking about all these famous people these founding fathers that did all these wonderful things during the Revolutionary War. You know, like how many of their like was Paul Revere's grandson a racist? You know what I mean? Like at this
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like in
I
the
mean,
old,
first of all, he was in Boston, so like right out the gate, probably a racist.
I would say that is generalizing, Mr. Slaton. I'm sorry to all of our Boston fans. Huge fan of your neighborhood.
Hey, sorry, Boston. I mean, I'm trying to give you credit for being probably the best northeast racists. I'm trying to tell everyone that you're top of the game, but Shefsky here's taking away the credit that I'm trying to give you.
I'm so sorry.
By the morning of, they were carrying lots of guns. They got drunk. 2 days later, Bill's gang laid siege to a Union fort. While he waited, locals brought him copies of the newspaper with editorials from Union commanders urging citizens to resist the guerrillas. Bill, perturbed, wrote back a multi-part letter of his own,
You son of a bitch, is Baker still alive?
threatening civilians who stood against him and taunting Union leaders.
You want to be against me? I'll fucking show you who's gonna win.
So he's got like a letter to the
Cut your
editor.
fucking
Dear
nuts off."
editor,
Yes.
please let everybody know not to resist me. I will kill them. I might fuck them. I will fuck their scalps.
You are practically
and
quoting the letter.
Steal their shit.
It's bananas.
Let's hear the letter, Slaton. Is it on there?
Yours truly, Mr. Anderson.
Well, the
Billy Anderson.
The Mr. Editor's part, which was the first part of the letter, was like, "Hey, I see you're encouraging people to resist me. That's a bad idea because I'm going to kill all of them who do that. So probably don't encourage that." And then he put a part to the people like, "Hey, if you're a person out there thinking of resisting me, I will hunt you down like a wolf and I will murder you. You can't get away from me." And then he gets to my
great
favorite
guy.
part where he specifically addresses 2 colonels who he had beaten in a battle earlier. So to a Colonel McFerrin, "Your troops are such poor shots. It is strange you don't have them practice more. Send them out and I will train them for you."
What a taunting fucking letter,
man.
dude. Send him out. I'll train him, meaning that I'll fucking kill him.
Old timey Twitter trolling.
Yeah,
Even better.
that's what it is.
Colonel McFerrin reads mean tweet. Colonels read mean tweets.
Hey, maybe you could send your pussy ass soldiers over to me, and I'll teach them how to kick my ass. You lowlife.
My favorite part was addressed to a Colonel Burris, who he'd also defeated in battle. "Burris, I love you.
Bill Burris, the comedian.
Come and see me. Goodbye, boy. Don't get discouraged. I glory in your spunk, but damn your judgment."
That when you say you glory in my spunk, it sounds weird. That's a bad Hannibal
Yeah, I was
Buress
gonna say-
impression, Kyle. Woof. That's what I was going for. It was so bad.
You were going for Hannibal?
Yeah.
What did
Burris
glory in
everywhere.
your spunk mean in the old days? Because I know what it means in the nowadays, right? Our English, Ben will know, our English listeners. After I glory in my spunk for a couple minutes, I get up and wash me hands.
Shockingly, the Union leaders did not allow the letters to be published in the paper. When days went by without an answer, Bill threw a month-long tantrum.
What does that mean when a guy like him throws a tantrum? What do? They just rape and pillage?
First, he murdered 9 more civilians.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Then he raided his former home of Huntsville, shooting a man for wearing a U.S. belt buckle.
This guy's having a robbery tantrum. He's going around with, I'm going to fucking burn shit down.
He tried to rob a train, but was thwarted by a group of soldiers and had to settle for shooting 20 horses.
Oh, my God.
I wonder what his crew, like, what's his crew think? Like,
They're so down. They are so fucking down for
Who are
this.
these
stuff.
guys' parents? Who raises a bunch of guys to go around shooting horses and just robbing people and killing them?
Well, when my dad rolled away and all I had left was my limestone mom. I mean, she crumbles over it under anything. That's a great rock joke, by the way. Limestone is not a strong stone.
That's very true. I thought you meant a rock and roll joke. But yes, limestone is very chisel-y. You can just crumble it up. It's very brittle.
like, do they get, I guess they get, how does pirate life work? Do they get?
It's like pirates,
They
yeah.
get some of the spoils or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
they're certainly stealing a bunch of shit.
yeah.
But I
think it feeds on each other,
All
right?
of these Bushwhacker and Jayhawk groups are mostly stealing, but the meanest, scariest, most I kind of like murdering more than stealing ones.
Yeah.
Are all joining Bill Anderson. Like the reputation is spreading where they're like, hey, if
you're
you
into
like
this,
stealing
yeah.
but love murder,
Yeah.
Bill's your guy.
We're out west. It's the mid 1800s. Everything basically sucks and stinks. So let's just YOLO out, kill everything, and and then we'll die in a couple years probably.
That's such a weird way to live, but maybe that's what it probably also, like, I feel like it probably got normalized.
Yeah, but it's better than like digging a hole in the ground and planting food. You know what I mean?
I'm not murdering anybody no matter how boring shit is, but I've never been that bored.
I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying, like, it's
Kyle's
probably
saying
more
if he has to farm
entertaining
or
than
murder, he's in a murder.
watching plants grow.
Yeah, entertaining. I mean, you're going to have nightmares for the rest of your life about the fucking people
What
that you
Kyle's
killed that
telling
you
us
should
is
have
when the
killed.
apocalypse comes, do not invite him into our group.
I know, huh? This guy's like, The Purge. You mean the documentary I'm filming right now?
No, I'm going to be dead. You guys can steal shit from my house. I don't even want to be around after the apocalypse hanging out with a bunch of preppers. Ugh.
No, that doesn't sound like a good time either.
Oh, those guys sound awesome. They're like, I was right. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Also FEMA camps. You're
I
like,
bet
don't.
after you like hang out with a gang that starts murdering people, even if you weren't super into it at first, they break the seal. You know what I mean? Where you're like, yeah, I murdered someone, and like now that I've done it, it's like everybody else is doing it, so this is how we hang out.
Well, the first time I murdered, I didn't feel anything. But second time I murdered, a little bit of a buzz. Third time, I was high as shit.
Yeah, I bet it's like that. I bet in a group things get normalized
They're
like that. And you're just
chasing the murder dragon.
and they're probably they're probably like dudes that like that. They probably look up to the leader of the gang like a father figure, and they're probably just like, hey, let's go kill. He wants to kill. Like it used to seem really scary, but now it's the rush that I desire, right?
I just always wonder about like henchman psychology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a psycho and I like doing whatever this psycho says.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I like your voice for that one.
They're just the original entourage.
Yeah.
I'm Turtle with a musket.
As July turned to August, Bill's gang carried out a few more grisly murders, including a scalping turned beheading turned stabbing.
Well, you can only have to do one.
It was just a sloppy scalp job. Like, I took a little bit too much off the top.
You took his whole head off. We'll stab him.
Yeah, stab him, put him out of his misery.
He's dead, sir. We'll just fucking stab him. I don't know.
I'm trying to work on my technique. Do you have an extra body I can practice on?
It would like strengthen your triceps if you did a good stabbing.
The gang came across a young man and asked him, "What are you?" Meaning Union or Confederate.
Can you say centrist in those
Can I
days?
say scared shit.
I don't really pick a side. I think you guys are both kind of stupid, and I'm just kind of doing my own thing.
Seeing the blue uniforms, he replied, quote, "I'm a Union man." Bill had him stripped naked, whipped near death, and tied by his neck to a mule.
Wrong answer.
They let it go, expecting the mule to drag the man to his death.
But
It only walked a few feet and stopped.
and then he just hung out with the mule. It was the guy from
he
Shrek.
stripped the mule, tied the mule to the man's neck.
Oh, that sounds horrifying. Don't strip a mule.
They
bro.
yelled, pushed, and fired weapons in the air, but the mule refused to move. So they rode on, leaving the man for dead, but he survived to tell this story.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like a good
This
song.
is where the revenge story comes in.
He survived.
That man was Baker.
When Bill began his summer tour, the Federals barely knew who he was. By the time he took a break in mid-August,
Coming to town.
Yeah, that's right.
dude, he's really blowing up. He's got some heat.
A local artist made the poster.
His star meter has just really gone through the roof in the last couple of weeks.
And even without the newspaper publishing him,
Well, I think
letter.
He's got press.
I think
he's
someone that's
really,
just like going around murdering people is going to travel word of mouth. You don't even have to have it. Yeah, it doesn't have to. You don't have to pay for the Facebook ads or anything. Like people are going to know.
By the time he took a break in mid-August, the local general was sending daily telegraphs demanding his extermination. But that was easier said than done. Despite his reputation, Bill had plenty of local support willing to help him avoid capture. Furthermore, most of the Federals were militiamen, poorly trained in carrying single-shot muskets. No match for Bill's bloodthirsty crew, most of whom carried at least 4 6-shot revolvers.
So crazy. I got like 4 guns, son.
This is where you know how heavy that is in those days too.
Well, they would all have 4 revolvers strapped to their bodies, and most of them also carried a repeating rifle on top of that. So they're
just
all
ready to
they're
go.
all GTA'd the fuck out.
And the
then-
federal forces are weak AF.
The federal forces just have single-shot muskets. Like, they're using Revolutionary War technology in Old West times.
This is the beginning of militarizing the police force. This is what you're seeing now.
This is what's up, bro.
This what's up, dog.
It was common for entire companies to flee or surrender at Bill's approach. Once, a lone Union officer accidentally caused 50 men to run when they mistook him for a bushwhacker.
No, I just spilled ketchup on my suit. Yep, I'm not one of the bad guys.
Well, you have to remember that all these that the bushwhackers are now Bill's group are all wearing stolen Union uniforms, which is crazy. Bill's crew quickly grew to over 100 men, including a young fellow named Frank James and his 16-year-old brother, Jesse.
Whoa! Whoa! Jesse!
What?
Jesse James! Ficht! The story just got super personal because we're all related to him.
I like,
no, I'm just
I like
joking.
thinking about just the guys in his gang. They're just like, hey, can we kill another Union soldier? Thanksgiving was I ate a little bit too much over the holiday, and I need a size 34. These 32s are I'm tearing the sides just to fit them.
You used to have to kill people for new shoes in the old days. That is, you brought up a really interesting point.
Goes into a new town. What size shoe you wear?
Yeah, sorry, I have to kill you for them.
Are you a 40 short or 40 long?
But Bill wouldn't take just anyone into the gang. When a man who described himself as a desperado asked to join, Bill turned him away, saying he'd heard he was a coward. When the man wouldn't take no for an answer, Bill spat in his face.
And then the man socked Bill, and he said, "You're in the game."
That's
that scene
literally what happened.
That scene with Meatloaf in Fight Club.
Right?
That's right. You get the first rule of Bill's gang is when he spits in your face, you show him that you are not a coward.
I'm not even joking. The next line was, the desperado immediately dropped him with a punch. Impressed, Bill rubbed his jaw and ordered the crew to swear him in.
Oh wow!
Like, you nailed it.
I like to swear them in like they've got some weird.
Oh, they do. Oh, I'm sure they do. You do swear to tell the lies and.
Can you swear on our Bible? It's just a guy we hold who knows the Bible.
Yeah. You just wear them like a backpack.
Can you swear on Jim over here?
Thou shalt not.
Well, that was a hell of a right cross. Here's your 4 guns. Here's your Union outfit. You're in the gang.
That's right. And 2 pieces of lasagna a day. It's actually a quite good lifestyle.
Bill and his crew cut a bloody path through Missouri, leaving behind mangled bodies to tease his pursuers.
This town is also called Bleeding, and so was this one.
And
A lot of bleedings in those days. You got to be specific about the region.
an order was given to, quote, form an Anderson extermination party and follow him until he is dead.
Anderson Extermination Party.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him so hard.
Dude, anyone bring the Molly? Yeah, I have her tied up in back.
That is a wooden. That's a wooden. A wooden wheel with a flat bottom bed and one of those. It's a carriage thing. That's her name, Molly. That's not your girlfriend, is it? Because we've been hitting it off pretty well lately. Is that?
No, my lady's Jane. She's the one with 6 wheels.
That's a big girl.
You know what? More cushion for the pushing down the hill on the way out west.
All right. Hey, I don't think I want to go hang out with Jane tonight. Apparently, she's dating that other fella right over there, and I found another wheel that I like.
They quickly... Oh, sorry, wrong spot. I never know where the fuck I am. Oh, in mid-August, an advance team for the extermination party stopped to water their horses, but quickly found themselves caught in a hail of bushwhacker gunfire.
Well, damn, these horses are never gonna grow if we don't water them. We gotta stop.
That is interesting wording. That is very interesting.
I just imagine him with a hose and then just hail a gunfire. Oh, fuck!
They quickly retreated, only to have their remaining cavalry mistake them for the bandits and fire as well.
Oh, that's the worst. Killed by friendly fire?
The extermination party lost about a dozen men. Bill's crew suffered 1 death and a couple of injuries, including Jesse James, who took a bullet to the chest, forcing him to leave the group to rest and recover. So Jesse's not going to come back to the group, just so you guys know. It was a quick stop off.
Is it like the Jesse James? Just like
that is the Jesse James. So
it teases. It's like how Nick Fury was in the end of whatever that Marvel movie was.
Yeah, that should have been a stinger for this thing.
But that's still interesting though that he touched base with him. I mean, whenever we
got a start kind of 16-year-old Jesse James like. I don't know if this is his first outlaw gang, but it's definitely early in his career.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy, dude. But he's done now.
He's done for this story.
All the listeners, they can chill out. Jesse's not coming back, but now you know he touched our story.
He did.
Okay.
Bill organized another ambush as a retaliation for his lost man. The first onslaught killed about a dozen Federals. They were the lucky ones.
Oh, fuck. What does that mean?
The 7 wounded soldiers left behind had to watch helplessly as one by one they were each stabbed, scalped, and castrated.
Oh my God!
Jeez.
In that order?
I don't know if that's the order.
Yeah, I hope that's the order.
Yeah, really. I hope that's
these guys
the
are
order.
fucking evil, barbaric.
Hey, can you just stab me in the chest before you do all that stuff to my balls?
Yeah, this is fucking insane, dude. And they made them watch each. I mean, that's just these are evil people, dude.
Hey, can I get the guy who castrates last? No. I go ball, head, chest. That's how I go.
Oh, the order. This is a classic death by Bufu situation. Ugh.
Everyone needed to know it was a bad idea to cross Bill Anderson. In case the 7 ballless corpses didn't make that clear, they took one body, skinned
you
it,
didn't make that clear,
and left it hanging from a tree.
These guys are fucking. This is the most bloodthirsty. Like when I imagine cowboy bandit gangs. Okay, when you watch Young Guns with Emilio Estevez, you're like, these guys they gotta shoot a few people. Things are pretty crazy.
Sure.
But you hear this and you're like, dude, how are you? Like, you're just cutting
How are you
people's-
so awesome, man? I mean,
What?
that's amazing.
That's what you're getting from this. I'm getting how
You're not getting these guys are awesome.
Look, I can't look under this table, but if you have a boner, I quit. I
have
quit
3
the fucking
boners.
show. This is wrong.
I've actually gotten hard and
Kyle, let me
finished.
see both your hands.
How great would it be if like Doc Brown and Marty showed up
for Back to the Future 3?
Back to the Future 3. It was just all these guys. They just show up. There's like a ballless
Great
skinned
Scots, Marty. They
human
cough his balls.
hanging from a tree, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck time travel.
Hey, that white-haired guy has a really hot girlfriend.
Who, Marty?
No, the silver
car.
that fancy silver carriage.
I've never seen a woman so fine and shiny.
I got a dress. I got a
her name?
dress that fits that thing.
Darla Lorian.
Darlene.
Darla Lorian.
Darlenian.
That's right. The muffler wasn't invented in that. That's probably how they call it the muff.
What is your? I guess his
I'm a
girlfriend's
muff whacker.
French.
A muff whacker, dude.
This fancy scientist with his foreign girlfriends.
She's hot. They're not normally this hot. How is yours getting so hot?
When the deed was done, Bill took a vacation. And by that, I mean he and his pals got drunk in the aptly named town of Roachport.
Yeah, what's the vacation for him? Like, he's just like, all right, no more raping and pillaging. I'm just going to buy shit, not kill anybody. Put my feet up.
Well, here's what they did. They got drunk in this town and occasionally wandered down to the Missouri River to shoot at passing boats.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, like, when they were at work. Like, that's their job.
No, they don't shoot at boats. They only shoot at boats during downtime.
I am so
That's
bummed
right.
at these guys and their behavior. This is fucking disgusting.
They managed to capture one, using it to raid others like mini pirates.
They're on vacation. What are you capturing boats for? You're fucking taking off. It's chill
You're
time.
having fun on the river, man. That's what you do. You never captured a boat on the river? I used to float the American River in Sacramento all the time, and we would use our carrots and water guns to commandeer other boats, and then we'd murder the entire group of people on it.
Wait, how would you use
take
carrots?
their-
Like,
You know, if you ever used carrots to murder anyone, I would just be like, that is so cute and healthy.
Fun story about our sponsor Joe. That's actually when we were on the American River one year, and some other boat like had some. We don't want to get in water fights, but some other boats would have those big water cannons.
Yeah.
And one of them shot us, and Joe's like, "Don't stop that!" And they kept shooting us. So Joe just stood up with a bag of baby carrots and just pelted them with baby carrots until they paddled away. So that's a hero who can represent you. For all your insurance needs, so protect
Folks,
both your
call up
home,
Joe.
your car, and your wetness.
You got a problem? Joe's going to throw some baby carrots at it and solve it.
Where the shit was I?
Sacramento River, they're on vacation.
Within days, word spread and water traffic ceased. Bill drunkenly declared that Roachport was his capital and had his men collect a voluntary tax, meaning you could decline to pay if you didn't mind being pistol whipped or having your house burned down.
Well, could you pick one, or you have to have both? I mean, this is a guy who cuts nuts off. I probably would just do whatever he says.
yeah,
But
I mean, it sounds like it's going light.
we got to get together.
Getting soft.
We got to topple this guy. We got to get together. We can't let a nut cutter run our town.
But 2 weeks into his reverie, some of his collectors were shot by passing militia. Bill cried heavy public tears over his men.
So he's sad because his
public tears.
Oh, what?
He cried public tears.
He cried publicly. He went. I mean, he
didn't actually cry. He was probably like, "God damn it, these fucking dudes were
He
dead."
seriously cried. He broke down sobbing because his men got killed.
As mayor of what's it called, Roachport? As mayor of Roachport, hey.
Oh, this more.
You know how? Listen, I'm just an honest guy. I like, fucking cutting off balls and killing random people in other towns. But I've really made a home here, and I like all you guys voluntarily giving me a bunch of money, or all fucking pistol whip you, or set your house on fire. But when those other guys came in, they killed 3 of my best murderers. And
did you say friends?
Yes, I said friends. I definitely didn't say murderers, and it just hurt my feelings.
It's called moral relativism, and it's fucking stupid. I care about these 3 other murderers because they're my homies, but I don't care about the people whose nuts I chopped off. I'm still fucking pissed about the nut chopping.
The next day, Bill rode out. Vacation was over. His men headed to Fayette, home of the 9th Missouri State Cavalry, the team responsible for the death of his collectors. On their arrival, they were met with a big surprise. At the same spot overlooking the town were over 200 bushwhackers, including a number of chieftains, led by William Quantrill.
Whoa, Quantrill's back.
So now we can have his fucking showdown, right? This is the showdown.
The Confederacy had asked for help to soften the way before their incoming invasion of Missouri, and Quantrill's gangs were happy to oblige. But he was skeptical, saying the town was too fortified for an outright attack. But Bill and the other chiefs looked at their group, over 400 of the meanest men on earth, and decided to attack right away. The plan was for Bill and his boys to ride in with their Union uniforms, get to the heart of the town, and sow chaos before the rest came in to clean house.
So this is when you say right away, you mean in a half an hour, they're like, all right, here's what we're going to do, boys. Everyone stop for a second. Because these guys are pros at that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
they're used to just pillaging however
they're not writing out set lists before, they're like, fuck it, let's go up there and wing it.
Comedian reference. No, but they're just they're literally on their horses deciding. He's like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do, this on the fly.
Yeah,
you guys go in there, start doing this. We're gonna go over here. Oh yeah.
And Quantrill's like, dude, it's fortified, and they're like, fuck it, bro, we got skills. Have they ever cut off dicks, balls? None of that.
Wait, Quantrill
is there planning an invasion. But he's looking at it going, we better really think how we're going to do this because they have fortifications and this could be a bad idea.
And is it the Union Army that has fortifications?
Federals. So there's sort of 3. You have to divide the Union forces into actual Union military, militias, and home guards. Those are the 3 sort of groups that are all that are involved. So each side has their own military. Each side also has slapdash militias.
Yeah,
and each side also has guards.
D&D, and then the elves, and then
if you roll a 10, we're all fucked.
Yeah. So
but this one is home to the 9th Missouri State Cavalry. So there is an actual military unit there.
And then Baker's going in, all his boys all dressed up.
Baker's been dead for a very long time.
Or not Baker.
Bill
Anderson. He's dressed as the Union, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be confusing.
So the plan right now is that he and his guys will roll in first, dressed as Union guys, so they can penetrate deep in.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll cause chaos, and then the rest of the bandits will all rush in and clean up all the work. That's the plan. But one of Bill's men got trigger happy and shot a black Union soldier on the way into town.
Racist.
The Federals got holed up in the brick and log houses, turned the bandits away, and inflicted heavy losses.
Please leave.
Oh, well, they asked nicely, I guess.
Damn it, the Dracula rules got us again, boys.
While covering their nuts with their hands?
Hey, fuck off. Man, my ears are bleeding. On the morning of September 27th, Bill and around 75 men left the group to scout the small town of Centralia. 3 Union companies had been stationed nearby to track the outlaw gang. But the commanding officer mistook another band of men for Bill's group and gave chase.
There is so much mistaken identity in this story of, you had the wrong jacket. Sorry, you're dead.
Whoops.
Right?
Yeah.
Woo-woo-woo.
Is that everywhere in this world at that time, or is that just in our story in particular?
I get mistaken for pretty much everybody.
No, I'm serious. In the olden days,
Yeah.
Was it just like constantly like, oh, thought you were someone else. Sorry, I shot you.
Dude, yesterday I was at a restaurant working on the script. I was at a coffee shop, and I saw a guy sitting with some girl, and I took a picture of, I thought it was my friend's. I was take a picture of him and then text it to him to be all creepy like. And then it wasn't him. He was like, what? Who's this a picture of? I was like, that has to be you. And then the guy turned and looked at me, and it wasn't. And that's a great story I just told.
Okay, so no one was
Mistaken
shot.
identity.
Nobody cut off anyone's dick.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't include that part? I cut his dick off after.
I thought maybe we had made
sometimes I
progress
bury
as a
the lead
society.
a little bit, but, it's just because I'm trying to keep these stories flowing.
But there's a lot of mistaken identity in these days.
So they mistook another band for Bill's group and gave chase, leaving Centralia undefended. Some men turned the town over searching for loot. Others simply walked inside.
You were going to say it too? We can say it too. Here, let's say it on the count of 3. Oh, yeah, I'll count to 3.
I thought you were counting. You were leading the charge.
That's right. 1, 2, 3.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
You can edit that in.
I had that
That
bass.
was a lot of fun.
You better add that in.
Others simply walked inside houses and demanded breakfast.
All right, God damn it. I want some steak and eggs.
Oh, dude. Corned beef hash, please, and some biscuits. Extra gravy. Oh, my God. That sounds so good.
He's just kicking open a door. Give me a moons over my hammy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Old school Denny's. Oh, bro.
By mid-morning, it was clear that the town had little to offer in riches, until someone discovered a large barrel of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
By 11:35
Burnt out
a.m.,
skeleton with a hole in his head next to it.
I'm still thirsty. Give me it. Let's break it open.
by
I'll use the
11:35 in the
skull to
morning,
take a shot.
they were all completely shithoused, just in time for the arrival of a Union train.
Oh, man. Is that a sexual thing you're talking about now here, boys?
The guerrillas blocked the tracks, forcing it to stop.
You ever bust a Union train on a girl?
The gorillas standing on the track beating their chest. What's happening?
The band Gorillas?
Yeah. I'm happy.
They boarded,
off balls.
they boarded to find over $9,000, around 134 grand today.
You could buy a house in, where? In Kentucky.
A good haul, but it wasn't the real prize.
The real
train
prize,
carried
a box of Twinkies, the first
A
ever
barrel of
invented.
whiskey.
A barrel of whiskey and more people to shoot. I'm having a good holiday.
Oh my God. Yeah, Anderson's just like, oh my God, if this train is full of people to shoot and whiskey, it'll be like Christmas.
Oh, this guy's a serial killer of the worst. Oh, God.
getting up
Oh, my
there,
God.
dude.
Slaton's freaking me out. He's like, that's
God.
pretty much what's going to happen.
The train carried passengers.
Oh, love it. They're
God.
so easy to kill.
Slayton, you're
Among
making me
them,
feel so bad on this
23
episode.
Union soldiers on their way home from war.
Oh, they'd survived. They'd made it through the war, and this fucking asshole's
Made
going
it
to
to the
kill
war.
them.
I'm going to go home, marry my sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's going to be all smooth sailing from here. What's this town?
Just all their balls are swelling. They're just ready to
Why are
blow
there
the
gorillas
road.
on the track?
Why are we stopping early? I thought another 2 hours till we got to my town.
This is
Wait, we weren't
disheartening.
supposed to stop in Centralia.
This shouldn't happen to people.
Maybe you know what? This is actually nice. I can stop, pick my girl up something nice. I can bring her some flowers. Maybe a car cover, something to keep the dust off her while I'm gone. All the good stuff.
These poor fucking kids just getting home from fucking war. This guy's going to murder a bunch of veterans.
Bill ordered the civilians to exit on one side of the train, the captive soldiers to the other. Bill had the troops strip, then told them to get in line. 2 refused and were immediately shot.
All right, boys, strip. Okay, fellas, good news. We got a 36 by 30. Dale, I know you were looking for those.
Oh yeah, this is clothing shopping. This is their Forever 21 Urban
Hey, any
Outfitters.
of you guys a size 7? I know that I look large, but I have very small feet.
Yeah.
That's how very diehard of you. This guy's got the same size boots as my sister, says Bruce Willis.
Bill addressed the men, asking if there was a sergeant in their ranks. A man named Tom Goodman stepped forward. Bill had him taken to a nearby building to hold as a hostage. Before giving a speech to the remaining prisoners about
I need a
hell,
hostage. You seem like a good man.
I need a hostage.
he gave them a speech about hell and death and scalps.
Oh God.
I just imagine like Sam Jackson just like, I don't know, it just seems some fucked up shit to say to a guy before I killed him. I don't know. He's just vamping. He's like, and so I am hell with 5 guns pointed at
Not funny!
your fucking head. Listen,
Hey, get on with it!
I'm the devil, and I'm gonna cut your dick off.
I pay the 2 clothing item minimum to get in here, and this guy just keeps on, like, he's not even prepared. And he's drunk up there. He's drunk up there.
Listen to me. So
I didn't ride a train all the way back from the war to see this guy drunk up there saying nothing.
And the horse's name was Death, and I came with him. I came on him.
Just, okay, give me the knife. I'll scout myself.
Here you go.
I'm over in the corner crying while you guys are improving because these guys are scared.
When he finished talking, dozens of bushwhackers raised their pistols and emptied their loads.
They shot all these guys?
They shot all of them.
Came all over.
So,
In fact,
you know what? I would have preferred that they just jerked off
Yeah,
on him.
I think-
That's a nicer thing to do. It's still gross, but they could live on and tell the story.
You know, in the end, the guys that were like, "We're not taking off our clothes," like they got to fucking skip that shitty speech.
That is such a great point, Kyle.
Like-
oh my God. The other guy was like, they're going to shoot us anyways? Fuck!
Yeah,
Tim
yeah.
was right.
Yeah, fuck. I wish I would have gone the way Tim did. Now everyone sees how small my dick is, and now I'm dead. Anyway, fuck.
Well, so one of them, a guy named Valentine, was super huge. And so when everyone else went down from the first round of bullets, he took a few shots, dipped under a train, so they lit the train on fire to get him out. And he came back out and like had a 2x4 in his hand and just started beating some of these,
Good for
some of these
him.
guys.
Yes, yeah.
Fucking,
And he
my
finally
bloody
dropped.
Valentine. That's why
It took
that's where the
20
term comes
bullets to
from.
drop that guy.
That's where the term comes from. My bloody Valentine from that guy.
There you go.
Is that right? Was that
Next,
right? I was
Bill
right.
had his men set half the town on fire and did the same to the train before ordering the conductor to start it up and send it on its way.
This guy is the biggest fucking nuisance in American history. How have we not heard of this guy before?
What a nuisance this guy is. Can we get someone to exterminate him and
I know it's an easy word, but imagine that you're in politics and you're just trying to hold your country together. and
God,
you're like,
Bill is
this guy's a
so
fucking nuisance.
annoying.
He's
Like,
annoying. You're just trying to keep order.
killing people, cutting off balls and stuff.
What about the civilians? Are they like on the burning train? They're just like, I'm just gonna. Are they? Just,
they're
just
lined up on the
standing
other
there?
side.
So they're still alive.
Oh yeah, the
civilians
civilians are all still alive. He's just killing Union
But
soldiers.
these poor fucking guys just survived a fucking brutal
And
fucking
are they
civil
just like,
war.
well, I guess I live in Roachport now.
This is such a waste of life.
So they send the train on their way. Bill mounted his horse and asked the frightened civilians, "Anyone care for a drink?" A man stepped forward, and Bill handed him the bottle, then warned the crowd not to put out the fires or move the bodies. And then he rode away.
What did he do with the bottle? The guy got to keep it?
The guy took a sip and then handed it back to him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna witness that level of death and destruction, might as well catch a buzz.
get a buzz.
A little something to
right?
take the edge off.
Oh, dude, some whiskey. I mean, at that point, I would just say yes, just so I don't fucking upset him. Like,
I would be a little. I'd be a little worried that it was like a prank. You know what I mean? You want a drink? Plow. You know.
Well, the guy,
bullets.
according to records, the guy like stepped forward, whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take a drink."
Yeah,
and then
fuck
he's
it.
like, "Yeah, sure, have a drink, man." He's like, "Oh, this is just a drink."
yeah.
Oh man, hey, nice job killing those dudes over there.
I thought for sure this was like the smoking a cigarette before the firing squad shoots you. type deal,
Seriously,
but-
either way.
At 3 that afternoon, noticing the giant column of smoke, the Union companies returned to Centralia. They found a massacre they couldn't have imagined. There was a pair of legs separated by the train from a dismembered trunk. Another man had been literally shot to pieces. And of course, there were nearly 24 naked bullet-riddled corpses.
And they're just
Kinky.
like, what are we fucking dealing with here, dude? Someone bends down, they taste the blood. They go, this was a murder. They pull their sunglasses off.
They look at the corpse. The corpse is just like shot to mush, and they're just like, "Oh, there's a little bit of a hat on a hat here, fellas."
Hey, I don't know what's up with Mike, but like, I don't know why he keeps pretending like he needs to taste the blood to determine it's a murder. That's
Yeah.
a really weird thing he does.
They need to do CSI through time. They do all these different locations, but they need CSI like history. You know?
Yeah, what happened?
CSI Civil War.
You know, CSI before like the 1800s is just, well, I'm pretty sure she's a witch, so
That's right.
I guess she made
someone murdered over here. It was a Native American or a black person.
Who's
That's
the
it.
poor?
Case closed.
We have a murder. Who's the poorest guy in the village?
Oh god.
Oh, this blood tastes like this corpse was murdered by what's his name, Bill Anderson. Open and shut case.
Got it.
Anyway, I need you to invite me into your house before I'm allowed to come in.
They have
Don't
that
worry
same
about
redhead
it.
dude with the sunglasses in every season. CSI Virginia. 1850 Virginia. Oh.
The commander asked for the direction of the bandits. The stunned civilians could only point. 115 men set off in pursuit and rode right into an ambush.
Ambush. Oy vey.
The lucky ones were killed in the first assault. When the bodies were found, those that possessed heads were clearly on the wrong bodies.
Oh,
The rest of the heads had been placed around the scene like creepy jack-o'-lanterns. One naked corpse
What naked course.
Really
one naked
ambush
corpse
I'll just have the appetizer. Thank you very much. I
had
don't want the naked corpse.
misplaced its genitals.
Where did I set my fucking
In
balls?
its mouth.
Oh yeah. They're always there. It's so embarrassing
that's so
when you're just like,
Al-Qaeda.
where did I put my genitals?
It's always the last place I look, and I never look at my mouth.
Well, and you think you go like, where are my genitals? I need to ask my wife where I set my genitals, and then you go, hey, never mind, found them.
That's
Honey,
right.
it's okay. I'll
like-
see you after work.
It's like when you're holding your own glasses, but this is your balls and
Yeah.
your cock in your mouth. You're like, I had to take it out of my mouth to ask her where they were, and that's when I realized.
The look on his face showed the man had been alive when it happened.
Oh, this is fucking Slaton. I thought we were doing like fun stories. This is.
so fun.
Can't someone just like rob
Isn't
a
this
bank
fun?
and drop a safe on
I'm
someone's foot?
having a whimsical good time here,
Yeah, because
fellas.
you're a natural fucking murderer.
When it was all over, one of the bandits, Dave Poole, counted the dead by hopping from body to body, which he could do because they were so close together.
Yeah, don't step on a not body. It's hot lava. Come on, boys, let's play. Let's count the bodies.
Oh God, I feel like you jump from one to one and it squirts.
Yeah.
So, one of the other guys was like, "Hey, man, that's not cool." He was like, "They don't know that it's not cool." Like, he literally was like,
That's
"But they're
what happened?
dead, man."
That
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
It's funny that one of the guys had some sort of moral thing. Hey man, that's not cool.
Because he'd been a preacher. He was like, "Hey, man, don't."
Wait, what?
He had been a preacher, and he's like, yeah, this God game's getting boring.
This is a preacher who turned into one of the gangbangers?
Yeah.
It's crazy. When you have one dude that's this psycho and you're like, okay, we got a serial killer on our hands,
Listen.
fellas. But you have a group, it's just disgusting.
I understand if you want to cut a guy's dick off and shove it in his mouth while he's still alive. That's all fun and games. But hopping from dead body to dead body.
At least take your shoes off before
we're
you
not
do it.
Animals. We're not monsters.
You know any what you're tracking onto the body from wearing those shoes? They've been everywhere. You don't know where your shoes have been.
You facetious murder junkies. This is disgusting.
Bill and his men killed 147 Union soldiers that day.
Damn.
The men returned to camp, some so drunk they could barely stand. It was one of the biggest guerrilla victories of the entire Civil War and the bloodiest in Missouri history. It earned their leader his nickname, Bloody Bill Anderson.
Like, I've been, fucked up, really drunk before. Never, murder 140 odd people and put their balls in their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I blacked out so hard last night. Can anyone tell me what happened? What did I do?
Dude, you cut off 14 villagers' nuts.
Again?
Again.
Oh,
then you cut their
man.
heads
That's so
off.
typically me. I mean, I get that whiskey. Woo.
Oh, dude, you ate so many buffalo wings.
I promised my girlfriend I wouldn't cut off balls anymore when I get drunk, but
Well-
Whiskey dick is next level fucked with these guys. You know what I mean? It means something entirely
yeah, it's a
different.
whole
Whiskey
different
dick
ball.
is
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing? It just fell right into
Oh,
me.
you really...
Fell right into my mouth. What?
After Centralia, every Union soldier, militiaman, and home guard was
wore
set to the
metal
task
jock straps stapled to their thighs and belly. No one's getting this dick.
was set to the task of hunting and killing Bill Anderson. The U.S. even sent artillery units to assist, but they didn't stop there. On October 2nd, they burned all of Roachport to the
2nd.
ground, while Bill secretly watched from nearby bluffs. The official Union report listed the fire as accidental. So yeah, they burned his capital to the ground while he watched from a distance, being like, "Man, that was my home."
Yeah, I accidentally started crying again. Why'd they set my house on fire?
That's where me and my murderers are from. Bill, you fucking dick.
Without his capital and the Union closing in, Bill made the only move he had left
He cut off his own nuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put his balls in his mouth and his gun to his head.
and actually joined the Confederacy. Sort of. On October 6th, Bill and his men traveled to Boonville to meet with Major General Sterling Price, leader of the Missouri Confederates,
Did General Price know that these guys were fucking trash?
who was in desperate need of new recruits.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine, they have victory on the battlefield, and he's like, all right, we won, boys. Let's go cut off their dicks, put them in their mouth. And, the rest of the Confederacy, no, we already won the... What are you guys doing?
it's very
We're just gonna
unprofessional.
March to the next battlefield.
You know we're legitimate soldiers. That's
We're not going to fuck their scalps or nothing? Come
No.
on. Gee, yeah, man.
I'll have to fill out
just
a
not-
huge report if you do
Hey,
that.
General Price, my new partner won't stop fucking all the scalps.
Well, that's
It's really making me uncomfortable.
Boys, I thought I told you when I hired you, you're going to have to leave your whole scalp fucking stuff behind when you come. We're legitimate.
Fine. I guess I'll stop doing scalps. I can still cut the balls off, right?
No, there's no ball
What
cutting.
about just one ball?
And take off that Union uniform.
Okay.
Can I circumcise them? Anything?
Okay, you can touch one of their dicks, and then we got to move on.
I mean, it's not really what I signed up for.
Well, do you want to or not?
I could touch it.
Listen,
Full hand?
You have 2 minutes to touch one of the dead people's dicks, and you can take a picture with your knife next to it, but then we need to go. That's it, okay?
I guess that's a deal.
Okay.
Not a good one.
you're in the Confederacy now, son. If you're going to put a dick in somebody's mouth, you better shoot it off, and it better fly through the air and land in their mouth. I mean, this is war.
You got to show some skills around here, boy.
At first, Price refused to speak with Bill on account of the fact that his horse was decorated with scalps.
Put another one by his ears. Oh, look, it looks like it's like his hair.
It's a little off balance. Can you just move that one just a little down? Yeah, there you go.
Put like the blonde ones like on his elbows, like little blonde elbow pads. That'll be fun, right?
You know, so this is really great. Here's my idea. I mean, we have the blondes here and the browns here. You arrange it, it forms a B for Bill.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
These guys are super flamboyant murderers.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna say that they're gay, but they do order everyone to strip, and
They're really into dicks.
a lot of cock stuff.
Yeah, I guess there is no like recorded history of what happens before they cut their dicks off.
After
They're all butt fucking.
That's the one part they all leave out. They're like, "Hey, you guys wrote down the dick cutoff part, right?" Yeah,
Red, you know us. That's Bill Anderson. I'm part of his posse. Now take off your clothes, and I'm gonna suck your dick off. I'm sorry, what did you say? I said I'm gonna cut your dick off.
Yeah, they're all embarrassed. It's not acceptable to be gay, just a murderer.
After removing the scalps, the men came to an agreement. Bill and his boys took the mission of stopping Union trains from passing through Missouri.
But they could do whatever they wanted.
They marched 70 miles east to burn some rail yard buildings before they said screw it and went back to their favorite hobbies. They ran around for a few days, killing Unionists and Dutch farmers. And I say Dutch like that because they're actually German, but everyone there just called them Dutch. So
It's just that was in the old days before they really had.
they're like, fuck it, they're Dutch.
It's like in New York how they call anybody that's Latino Spanish.
Yeah.
Sure, right? That's you're brown. You're from Mexico.
Then they heard news that the town of Glasgow, home to Benjamin Lewis, friend of Abraham Lincoln, had been taken by the Confederacy. Not only was Lewis a filthy Unionist, but he committed the even bigger sin of freeing his slaves. Bill and an assistant named Weasel
And what's up, buddy?
entered his home and demanded his money.
I would love to see.
Give us your money, right?
Oh my god, I would love to see Pauly Shore in a Civil War movie.
Bro, I'm going to cut off your balls, buddy.
Burn them alive.
Give us your money, or I'm gonna cut your dick off.
Bill and Weasel entered the home and demanded his money.
Ooh, buddy.
When Lewis refused, they made him stand on his head, kicked him in the stomach, and then jumped on him like a trampoline.
What if you couldn't stand on your head?
Well, they made him do it against the wall, so he could really. They probably did like the gymnastics thing where they helped him get his legs
Yeah,
up.
like a nice yoga teacher.
I'll help you up, okay?
And then they kicked him in his balls, then trampled him.
He gave up the cash, but they suspected he had more.
I'm impressed that he was able to continue standing on his head while being kicked in the dick.
Well, no, they kicked him, and then he fell, and then they jumped him up and down on him. They hopped on pop,
Like hop on pop.
Yeah.
And this isn't like fun jumping. This is murderers jumping on top of you with boots.
Shit.
So he gives them the cash. They suspect he had more. So that's when Bill throat fucked him with the barrel of his gun.
No.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. I had to read. It's more graphic than I'm even saying because there was a lot of bleeding and coughing and stuff.
I mean,
and
it's
Are
not,
you serious?
I mean, he gagged him with the gun.
like it's not traditionally gay, but it's not gay.
Yeah, that's
He
fair.
throat fucked this dude with the fucking barrel of a rifle?
Yeah, of a pistol. He's not an animal.
Shut up, Slaton. This is fucking nightmarish.
But Lewis still said he was out of money.
How is this not?
So Bill dragged him outside and mounted his horse, which he had specifically trained to stomp on people. He ordered his horse to paw him. Benjamin Lewis survived that night. In fact, he lived for another 18 months before he died of his injuries.
Oh my god.
Dude, more than a year?
Yeah.
A year and a half of being injured from all this stuff.
A year and a half of being of the worst
Trampled
throat
on,
fucking
trampled on
trampling.
by two drunk fucking murderers.
Trampled on by the biggest murderer and a really silly 80s comedian.
You know what? If you would have put Pauly at the beginning of the story, it would have been a lot easier to swallow.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Let me cut your balls off. That would have been a lot easier to take.
Should have given us the money, bro.
That's pretty good.
Thanks, dog. On
Given the
October
contents of people's mouths in this story, it's pretty hard to swallow.
On October 27th, 1864, word of Bill Anderson's location reached the ear of Lieutenant Colonel Samuel P. Cox.
Shut the fuck up.
That's funny in so many ways.
Samuel P. Cox.
That's the bird. It's your dick with pee coming out of it.
Oh,
It's just so fucking.
There's a lot of angles.
You messed with the wrong Colonel Samuel P. Cox.
I certainly rewrote that sentence. When I first wrote that sentence, that's not how it ended. So I definitely rearranged it to make sure we landed on the Cox. Because there's a place that I think I know about the show. We love to land on Cox.
You are an artist, Slaton, and you do love to grease your asshole up, run and jump, and then land.
Knowing
on
his location.
I do hear with my little ear that there's a man that likes to cut my namesake off and put it in people's mouths. I do not like this.
You're gonna drink my pee from my cock, boy.
Knowing his location gave Cox the upper hand.
You give your cocks the upper hand.
Him and Sergeant I.P. Freely.
He set up his 300 elite
Lieutenant
troops.
Wanker.
Cox went after the bushwhackers.
Yeah, I'll bet he did.
He set up his 300 elite troops on a skirmish line, then sent a small cavalry.
Boys, what you gonna do? Cox is filmed on location.
Then sent a small cavalry unit to engage the guerrillas.
Lieutenant Dong, take this unit to engage the guerrillas.
Dude, they did not have Asians in the military at this point. They weren't that progressive. They were still building railroads.
Really, there weren't any Asians in there?
I mean, maybe there were two, but they were very wealthy and they bought their commissions.
Sounds good to me.
It's like a weird German. It's like D-A-U-N. All right.
The mounted group encountered the bushwhackers and returned, fleeing, followed by 200 to 300 outlaws. Cox ordered his men to shoot. I know. It's right there. You can't ignore it.
Blow all your wads, men, until they're covered in your bullets.
As they started to drop, the bushwhackers stopped and turned back.
Fap.
All but two.
It's a cockfight.
The entire Union company fired as just a pair of men rode and broke through their lines. Finally, they fell. When the soldiers went to investigate the bodies, they found one still holding both revolvers, two more on his hips, scalps dangling from his horse.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, motherfucker. Bah, 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 bah.
They reached into his pocket and found a letter from a lady named Bush Anderson. They had killed Bloody Bill. While Bill was dead, his body wasn't done working. The soldiers paraded it through Richmond, Missouri, before putting it on display in front of the county courthouse. In his hands, they placed his gun and a string with 53 knots, which they claimed symbolized the men he had killed.
And in his mouth, they placed his cock.
Just better you fucking
gotcha.
show. Yeah, fucking. Here's what happens. Did they? So all of his men are fucking dead?
No, his men fled, and most of them went and either quit or went and joined Quantrill or joined other bushwhacker groups.
Did Bush live in Roachport with all them?
No, she was in Texas.
So she's in Texas. It's like, oh, he's out there being brave. He's definitely not a monster.
Yeah, did she know he was a fucking awful dude, or did he lie to her like most of these guys do to their chicks?
Well, that's why he cut off dicks. He was like, I'm just trying to make sure no one else fucks my whore of a stagecoach back there.
Really interesting conspiracy theory for this story.
Yeah.
Slaton.
She would give him blowjobs, and he'd have flashbacks to guys with dicks in their mouth.
Yeah, how could you get a blowjob after murdering all those people? You try to close your eyes, and all you'd see was them screaming as you're cutting their dicks off. How could you relax and get head? Huh? Answer me, Slaton!
One soldier cut off Bill's finger to steal his wedding ring. Cox ordered him buried in a, quote, decent coffin. Once he was in the ground, Union soldiers visited to pay their respects to Bloody Bill Anderson by urinating on his grave.
Good for them. This guy's a fucking awful piece of shit.
No, but that's really the best kind of response to him, because it's like
to a dick cutter?
Yeah, to a dick cutter. Like, here's my dick, and there's pee coming out of it on your grave.
I would shit on his grave.
By the way, the Old
Let's
West
go
seems
shit
like a
on
big
his grave.
grave peeing time period.
Let's do a crime episode on his grave and
I mean,
shit on it.
toilets weren't invented, so you got to pee somewhere.
Well, we did the story of Soapy Smith, and people went and peed on the grave of the guy who shot him. It seems like a thing in the 1800s.
Soapy Smith is an angel compared to this guy.
Soapy Smith was a good. No, but Soapy Smith was just a con man who.
Yeah, Soapy Smith, you share a tent with that guy. This guy is fucking. This guy.
Yeah, Soapy was a fun dude.
This makes
guy
you
is
wish
not,
Soapy was this guy. If this guy was Soapy, we wouldn't have cut all these dicks off, right?
Or he would just put them in concrete and displayed them in a museum.
So these guys, all these evil guys in this gang, what are they? What are their kids doing now? Huh? Running corporate America? What's going on? Who are these people?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most of them are improvisers. And look, they learn how to yes and early, and then passing that on from generation to generation.
Bitch shit, Slaton.
Today's sources include.
I'm actually the descendant of.
I'm in the band, The Descendants.
My great Grandma Bush.
Bloody Bill Anderson, The Short, Savage Life of a Civil War Guerrilla by Albert Castle and Thomas Goodrich. And, of course, The Evil Robots at Wikipedia. And that's our fucking doozy of a story today, guys.
Yeah, wow, this is a real bummer, Rich.
Well, I wanted to really bring it for you to come on the show, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be on the show. There was so much going on. Like I missed Baker. Like I got really invested in Baker, and then you Jon Snowed him.
Yeah. No. I Game of Thrones the fuck out of this stuff.
God damn.
Set up a character early, get rid of him to show you that we mean business.
Yeah, I guess not fucking around. I was really hoping it'd be, he'd come back like V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
After the fire.
You wanted something whimsical to happen, and this was not.
Well,
I mean, the dick stuff was pretty fun.
There's a lot of cock talk.
Kyle, where can people find you on the interwebs?
They can find me at the Kyle Ray on Twitter and Instagram, and thekylray.com on a website I need to update.
We'll have Kyle's social stuff in the show notes for you, and we'll be tagging him when we put this thing out on our Twitter and Instagram, which you can follow at CRiiIME Pod, Crime Pod. You can also email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com, with story ideas, any sort of questions, or if you have a guest or whatever you might want to do for us. You can also send dick pics, obviously, labeling those for Shefsky.
Oh, yeah, please label them for Shefsky.
Especially if they're severed.
Shit.
Make sure you send those ones to him.
Oh, my God. Don't send us anything like that.
That's what he's only into.
It's a dick pic where you say cheese.
Also, big shout out to some of our listeners who've been writing in. So we'll be doing stories from our good friend Barry Thomas, who wrote into the show, and Alicia Hodges. Thank you so much for your really great story idea. That'll be coming as well. And everyone else who's been writing in, we really, really, really appreciate that. Thanks for the 5-star ratings and reviews. Thanks for sharing the show.
Yeah, guys, we got a good review here. Thank you from, it just says love, and it's 5 stars. It's from Bam Loves Adorable Stuff. Thank you so much, Bam Loves Adorable Stuff. That means a lot to us. And guys, if you're listening, if you're just, feeling like you want to, exercise your thumb right now, the rights of your thumb, just click on share and send it to one motherfucker that might like this show.
Or 5 who might hate it specifically, so that we can bring in everything. I want someone to blog
Don't
about
have people use our show as a weapon.
Yeah. Get someone who's really scared of dick cutting. Send them this episode.
Jesus
Like if you have a
Christ.
friend who's not circumcised, send them this episode and be like, look, this is a bet that you should get. That's a better option than this is.
Just listen to the show if you're high or drunk and you can handle the darkness.
And remember, Saturday, 10:30, March 17th, in the Belly Room of the Comedy Store, the Crime Live, the debut of Crime's live show, which has been the real thing we've been building up to this entire time.
So excited.
We're super excited with Jeremiah Watkins will be on it. We'll have a few some opening comedians who've been guests on this show that you really enjoy.
You'll see mine and Slaton's titties live.
If you want to see any of them specifically on the show, let us know and we'll make sure that happens.
Kyle Ray, everybody. Kyle Ray, you want to see him?
If you want to see Kyle Ray, the smartest man in a beanie I've ever met.
Stop using the beanie credit, Kyle. You actually
I get it. I'm bald.
No, you're an awesome writer, though. This guy's hilarious. You do have to see Kyle.
Send us an email. The first 20 of you will get free passes to the show. The tickets will be available up on Comedy Store's website pretty soon. And you're our favorites, and we're excited for 2018. Bye, Robot.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much for riffing with us. Love you guys.
Wow, that was fun.
Dude, you're great.
Fuck yeah,
Dude,
man.
when do we go chaw for chaw?
That was a blast.
Chaw for chaw reference.
Chaw for chaw.
That was a fucking disgusting episode.
That's gnarly.